organize presentations in opposition, but first ask Congressman Bob Filner to come forward. Congressman Filner is time seated by Jason Holland, Sharon Beckus, and Patricia P. Taylor for a total of 4 minutes.
Thank you, Council. Thank you for the courtesy of speaking. Can you hear me? I'm sorry? You're pointing somewhere. Thank you all. I come here, of course, as the Congressman for the 51st District, also someone who has served on the City Council. In fact, I was the councilman for Balboa Park and have been involved in these issues for 33 years. So I don't come with newfound knowledge of this. My predecessor as mayor, I heard when he first started, said, you know, we finally got to the historic point of getting the cars out of Balboa Park. When we passed the plan, was referred to as the master plan and the precise plan, we passed that 23 years ago. It did that. It did exactly that. I don't remember, by the way, the Union Tribune or other organizations supporting that. We got the cars out of Balboa Park without $40 million expenditure. We had outside parking. We had a tram system in. The consultant said, you know, there was this new plan is that plan with one minor exception, you know, $25 million bridge. And that plan had one unmitigatable, that's a bad word, unmitigatable problem, which is some traffic. I heard when the staff presented, they didn't go into it very much, I heard 4 or 5 unmitigable problems with the present plan. As soon as I heard the word historic as an unmitigable problem, I'm saying, why are we doing? Every plan has pluses and minuses. Every plan. Every plus that this plan has before us, virtually every plus, can be handled by the general plan or the precise plan. I would call it the Estrada plan. Where's Vicki? But she's on the other side, so we'll call it the Filner plan just for convenience. The Filner plan does everything, virtually everything that this plan before you does for virtually no cost. And I heard unmitigable things from the present plan. So for all its virtues, it has severe defects. And I don't want to be the mayor of a city where on the centennial, we've broken the historical integrity of Balboa Park. That's what this plan does. That's the unmitigable plan that the staff talked about. So other people will talk about further those. Let me just mention the financing plan. I don't think it's responsible for a public body to depend on financing for a major project on the philanthropy of a single person, no matter how great and how distinguished and how much we love them. You're giving the plan, you're giving the public financing to the Plaza, to the committee, the Plaza de Panama committee. How can you do that? I don't know, maybe Qualcomm loses its value. Maybe Irwin dies, heaven forbid. Maybe he won't like the next mayor. I don't know. But how do you put the financing on a private committee? And as the independent budget analyst pointed out, there's virtually no confidence that the private financing, the paid financing will meet the bond issue. You said yourself, you didn't stress it, but less than half of the bond thing will be paid for. If you got a choice between free parking and public parking, which are you going to take? The free parking. And there's only one way, and I'll talk to Carl on this one, there's only one way you make up the difference. You take money from the general fund, or you put paid parking in the rest of the park. That would be unthinkable. So how do you pay for it? It's the Carl DeMaio tax. And I'll tell you, Carl, right now, I won't give you any surprises. When this plan has to be funded by the council, it's the Carl DeMaio tax. What are we going to call it? The Carl DeMaio tax. Thank you. So let's be very careful on the funding plan, unless, by the way, we're going to have a free Qualcomm phone in the parking garage. Maybe we'll do that. And one last thing, if I may, Mr. President.
I'll ask you to wrap up. Thank you, Congressman. Go ahead.
No, I want to say one last thing. You know, we're counting on no delays in this process. If there's any construction delay, if there's any legal challenge, you're into the centennial period. the mayor said there's going to be a great celebration of the centennial. Yeah, with a big hole where the parking is from the behind the Spreckles Pavilion. This is not a way to celebrate the centennial. And I can tell you, there can be no guarantee that the funding is in place. There can be no guarantee that the construction will be finished in time. I just wonder what Kate Sessions might say about all this. What Kate Sessions might say about this. Holy mackerel, she's here. Kate, what do you think about all this?
I have to tell you, I think...
Congressman, I gave you an extra minute. I appreciate that, sir.
You're going to have to give a historical
No,
monument.
I'm going to ask you to wrap it up literally in 20 seconds. I extended you a little extra courtesy.
I think
20 seconds.
Actually, I am not Kate, but I am representing her, and she is probably turning over in her grave. This is a wonderful project, but I don't think that we have the right design. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Let's not destroy the
Congressman, I'm gonna have to
historical
ask you to-
integrity of Balboa Park under a promise that
Congressman,
somehow
you're
something's going to
familiar with
happen
rules of
before the
council. I'm
centennial.
going to ask you to fill it up. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker, Dan Soderberg, and Dan Soderberg has time ceded by Juan Soto,